If you're ready to improve your English, hold on to your seat because I've got some breaking news. Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay, and welcome back to the channel. It's time to improve your English, and I am going to do this by reading through an English article at a moderate pace and defining key vocabulary words and phrases that you can begin using today to take your English to the next level. Make sure you're paying attention because I have 7 quiz questions and I'll post the answers at the end to help improve your comprehension. So make sure you're paying attention. I hope you're ready for some learning and some laughter. Let's dive into today's lesson. According to the Associated Press, Trump seeks drawdown of thousands of troops in Europe. Okay, here's a great word, actually a compound word that we use in English, drawdown. So when we talk about drawdown, it has to do with a decrease of something. Okay, there was a drawdown of supplies due to so many people. So there was a decrease of something. So he's trying to draw down or decrease the number of troops in Europe. Let's continue. European leaders are reassessing their defense strategy after President Donald Trump announced plans to withdraw thousands of U.S. troops from Germany, raising concerns across NATO. All right, reassessing. So when you reassess something, you are to the point to where you are reviewing and thinking again about a plan. Okay, let me reassess what I told you is what you could say. Let me reassess my strategy. Let me look at it again. Okay, so you might say after losing his job, he started reassessing his career plans. Okay, so again, when you reassess, you're looking at something again, reviewing. Okay, so President Donald Trump is reviewing. Maybe we don't need so many troops in Germany at this time. Officials say the decision forced a sudden realignment of priorities. Realignment, okay? Say that with me, realignment. So when you realign or you have a realignment, this is a noun. This is something that you actually are preparing to do, or what a person does. A noun is a person, place, or thing. So a person realigns. A major change in direction or priorities. Okay, the company made a realignment after losing money. So maybe the company was spending $10,000 on advertising. And so when they had a financial realignment, maybe they started spending $6,000 on advertising because fuel costs have risen, okay, or increased. All right, a realignment. The United States has long maintained a strong presence in Europe to support allies and deter threats. So when you support an ally is a friend. All right, I'm supporting a friend, someone that's on my side. When I deter something or deter a threat, I am trying to stop something from happening. happening. Okay. The leash on my dog deters him from running around. Okay. It stops something from happening. All right. I deter my wife from spending too much money by keeping the credit card away from her. I deter high spendage. Okay. Let's continue. Now, European countries are reassessing, there's reassessing again, reassessing their own responsibilities and preparing to take on a larger role in defense planning. Okay, so they're reassessing, they're changing their position, all right? Some experts warn that reducing troop levels could weaken NATO's overall deterrence posture, especially as the war in Ukraine continues. Okay, so I taught you about the word deter, all right, trying to stop something from happening. A deterrence is another tense of the word deter, okay? So deterrence, actions meant to prevent something bad from happening. So you might say strong security acts as deterrence against crime. All right, so I can deter criminals from breaking into my business by having security cameras and a security officer patrolling the store. Then I would say my cameras and my security team are my deterrents for criminals, okay? I deter them by having a policeman and security cameras. Those are my deterrents, okay? Let's read one more sentence and then take a quiz. Others believe it may push Europe to strengthen its own forces. Okay, let's look at a quick quiz, our first quiz for today. Deterrence, reassessing, and realignment are our options. The company made a major blank. Number 2, he began blank his plans after the setback. And number 3, strong security provides blank. So some of these sound familiar, but the right word will fit in each blank. I want you to put your answers down in the comments section, okay? Let's continue. The decision has also created friction. Say that with me, friction. All right, friction between the U.S. and key allies, particularly Germany, as disagreements over defense spending continue. Okay, so now they're having an argument over how to spend the money. It always comes down to the money. But notice, friction has been created. All right. Now, when you rub two things together, that creates friction. I rub my hands together. They're starting to get warm. That's friction. All right. When people have friction, it's not saying that we're rubbing two people together. No, friction between people is conflict, trouble, tension. All right. Between differences of opinions or beliefs, there's friction, all right, disagreement. There was friction between coworkers after the disagreement. So maybe the coworkers wanted everyone to take a break at 11 o'clock, but then some of the coworkers wanted to take a break at 12:30. So there's friction, all right, there's disagreement or conflict, all right. The husband wanted a hug and kiss right now, but my wife, she wanted to wait until tomorrow. There is friction or a lack of friction. Okay. All righty then. Let's continue. Analysts say these tensions could have serious implications for the alliance. Okay, serious implications. Now, when we talk about implications, I've dealt with this word, I believe, a month ago. Okay, implications have to do with the possible results or effects of a decision. Okay, if you do or make a good decision, the implication is things will work out fine. If you make a bad decision like robbing a bank, the implications are you're probably going to jail. Okay, so remember, possible results, all right, or effects from a decision. All right. Buying a house has long-term financial implications. All right. Buying a home is going to affect a family's finances or money. All right. Implications. In response, European nations are increasing military spending and coordination, calling this moment a potential turning point in how NATO operates. Okay, a coordination. All right, a coordination is when one person or people work together to accomplish a goal. You coordinate or work together, strategize, plan, okay, to fulfill a purpose. So once they decide to get on the same page or work together, notice that is a great turning point. All right. So when we talk about a turning point, this is a word that you would use that means a moment when things begin to change. And the turning point can be for the better or for the worse. So for instance, you might say getting promoted was a turning point in her life. All right. Probably more pay, more responsibility, all right, more prestige, all right, a turning point. So listening to my lessons is hopefully a turning point in your English journey. Hopefully you are getting better and you're realizing, wow, I'm learning, I'm having fun. English is becoming easier ever since I found Jay. Ooh. So you would say in the comments, Jay, I've had a great turning point since I have been studying your lessons. A turning point. Okay. I might tell my wife, girl, ever since I met you, I've had a turning point in my life. Everything has just been so wonderful. Okay. Or you could say, ever since I met you, girl, oh, what a turning point. My life has been terrible. Okay, so a turning point, the moment when things begin to change. Okay. Leaders are adjusting their defense posture to adapt to new challenges. Okay, posture. All right. Oftentimes we use the word posture to describe how a person stands, or sits, shoulders back. They have straight or good posture. All right. But when we talk about things taking place, such as people working together, people in different working positions, okay, posture has to do with your approach, how you handle things, okay? If you are usually negative, gloomy, pessimistic about your life, it says that you have a depressing posture. But if you know how to count it all joy, keep a smile on your face, look at the brighter side of things, then it says that you have an upbeat posture, okay? You're someone that has hope, okay? You're not in despair. Your posture is very good, okay? So you might say the company changed its posture after losing customers. Okay. So for instance, if you are a parent and you notice your daughter is coming home sad and her head's hanging down, her posture is not good. And so you might say, "What's wrong?" And she would tell you, "My boyfriend, he broke up with me." And that's the reason that her posture is so negative, okay? And so you would have to tell her, "Girl, straighten up. Put a smile on your face. There'll be other boys in your life that you can talk to," okay? Posture. All right, so we have completed today's article, and I have 4 more questions for you that I'm going to place before you in a moment. But before we do that, let's read through today's article at a faster pace. I'm not going to stop or explain anything. I think I've done a pretty good job of that. And let's see if you can still understand and read at my pace, okay? European leaders are reassessing their defense strategy after President Donald Trump announced plans to withdraw thousands of U.S. troops from Germany, raising concerns across NATO. Officials say the decision forced a sudden realignment of military priorities. The United States has long maintained a strong presence in Europe to support allies and deter threats. Now, European countries are reassessing their own responsibilities and preparing to take on a larger role in defense planning. Some experts warn that reducing troop levels could weaken NATO's overall deterrence posture, especially as the war in Ukraine continues. Others believe it may push Europe to strengthen its own forces. The decision has also created friction between the U.S. and key allies, particularly Germany, as disagreements over defense spending continue. Analysts say these tensions could have serious implications for the alliance. In response, European nations are increasing military spending and coordination, calling this moment a potential turning point in how NATO operates. Leaders are adjusting their posture or their defense posture to adapt to new challenges. All right. So even though this article today has a main subject surrounding military, international affairs, it still presents great opportunities for us to learn new words that we can use in our conversations, okay? These are not just military words we have learned today. These are great words that you can use when you are speaking English. So let's look at our last quiz for today's lesson. Posture, turning point, friction, and implications are your 4 options. Number 1, there was blank between the co-workers. Number 2, the decision has serious blank. Number 3, it was a blank in her career. And number 4, the company changed its blank. All right, so before I post today's answers, make sure that you take at least 2 words and try to use them in a sentence within the next week, all right? As well as watch today's lesson twice, once with the subtitles on and once with the subtitles off. I understand that I make lessons every day and sometimes you may get behind, but sometimes you go back and you rewatch the ones that you missed. I have some of you leaving me comments letting me know that different things come up in life and you weren't able to watch the last few days' lessons, and so you go back and you watch the ones that you miss. Great way to keep your consistency. Remember, being repetitive is important. Consistency is key. That's how you get better, okay? All right. Also, if you enjoyed today's lesson, make sure you share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Maybe help me get 101 likes on today's lesson. All right. With that being said, here are today's answers. All right. Make sure you check your work. And don't be discouraged if you got more than 3 wrong, okay? Just keep working at it and you will improve, okay? If this is your first time watching and you made it to the end, let me know where you're watching from. And let me know, Jay, I watched the entire lesson and I thought, let me know, okay? I learned, let me know, okay? I love to hear from you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Get some rest so you can join me on my next English lesson. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.